Now we proceed to simple amount represented by capital letter S. What is mean by simple amount? Simple amount, or known as future value, S is the sum of the original principal and the interest earned. We already know from the previous lesson, original principal is denoted by capital letter P, whereas interest earned denoted by capital letter I. The simple amount can be calculated by using this formula. So this is the formula related to the simple amount. Since from the definition we know that S equals to P plus I. From the previous lesson, we already know capital letter I is equals to P R T. Then we can rewrite the equation such that S equals to P plus P R T. And then we can simplify the equation and it will be P, we put in bracket 1 plus RT. Since we factorize P outside the bracket, therefore we left with 1 plus RT. Therefore, the formula involved in finding simple amount is S equals to P plus I, or S equals to P 1 plus RT. So these are the formula that we are going to use in order to find simple amount. Let's proceed with example 6. Puan Asmah deposited RM500 at 12% simple interest for 6 months. How much will she receive at the end of the term? So this is the timeline. From the timeline, we can see that the simple interest is 12%. Since this question is about simple interest, therefore, we are going to use only one loop. From 0 to 1 year, we will gain R equals to 0.12. Why there is 6 months here? This is because from the question, Puan Asmah deposited 500 ringgit at 12% simple interest for 6 months. Then the question asks you to find how much will she receive at the end of the term. The key word here is at the end of the term, meaning that the question wants you to find how much Puan Asmah received up until 6 months only. Please understand it carefully. If you put your loop like this, and then you put R equals to 0.12, it will be wrong. Why? Because simple interest rate is calculated per year. That means 1 year. If you put your loop from 0 to 6 months, it does not match the definition of simple interest. That's why our loop is from 0 to 1 year. So it will be going like this, from 0 to 1 year. Why we put 6 months here? Because of the question, 6 months. We need to follow what the question wants. However, we need to obey the rules of simple interest where the rate is per year. That's why our loop from 0 to 1 year, and it should be written R equals to 0.12. What it means by receive at the end of the term means that the question wants you to find for 6 months only. Okay? So I hope you can understand the question very carefully. What the question wants? The question wants you to find how much will she receive. So it means that this is capital letter S. What is 500? 500 is the amount that Puan Asmah deposited. So this is P equals to 500. 12% is our R equals to 0.12. Received at the end of the term, referring to the 6 months. Therefore, this will be our T. Remember, in calculation, we should represent our T in years. So, it will become 6/12. We have P here is 500 ringgit. Our T is the one from 6/12. Next is our R is 0.12. Since we are given P, R, T, so we are going to use formula S equals to P1 plus RT. Just put all the information inside the formula. P is 500. 1 plus R is 0.12. T is 6/12. Then you just press your calculator carefully and you will get 530. Please remember, unit for simple amount should be in RM. So your final answer will be RM 530 ringgit. This is your final answer. Example 7. Johan invested RMX in a bank. So here we are given RMX, the amount that Johan invested. For sure, this is our P. After 36 months, his investment will be worth 5,439 ringgit. Here we have information 36 months, referring to our T is 36 months. In years, it should be 3 years. His investment will be worth 5,439 ringgit. That means this is the value of S. If the simple interest rate is 8.5% per annum, find the value of X. Then 8.5% is our R, 0.085. Next, let's portray all the information on the timeline. So we will get such that here is 0, represented present or today. And then we have 1 year. Next is 3 years. Since the question asks for after 3 years. So this is the simple interest rate. The R that given is calculated based on the original principle. That's why we just have single loop here from 0 today to 1 year. Let's put the information on the timeline where we write P equals to X on today. And then our T just write equals to 3. Our R is 0.085. And then the value of S is 5,439 ringgit. Since you are given R, S, and T, we need to find P. So the suitable formula that we are going to use is S equals to P1 plus RT. Just put all the values inside the formula. P is X, 1 plus R is 0.085. Our T is 3. Simplify the equation, we will get such that 5,439 over 1.255. And then you press your calculator, you will get your X is 4,333.86 cents. Please remember, our X is principal. Principal has its own unit, which should be in RM. Therefore, the final answer will be RM 4,333 ringgit 86 cents. This is your final answer. If you can see the pattern from the previous example where we need to find simple amount, which is S, for this example, we need to find the principal. Both examples, we use the same formula. Okay? Now, we move to example 8. Let's read the question first. Fazilah deposits 550 ringgit at 6% simple interest. How much interest will Fazilah earn after 3 years and 8 months? And hence, find the simple amount. The question gives us amount of 550 ringgit, which is the one that Fazilah deposits. Therefore, this is our P, which is P equals to 550 ringgit. R percent should be our R, 0.06. Then the question asks you to find how much interest will Fazilah earn. So the question 1, I, capital letter I. Hence, find the simple amount, which is capital letter S. Therefore, in this example, we need to find two things, which is interest, the first one, and then the second one, we need to find simple amount. Let's portray all the information on the timeline. So the timeline will be like this. Here we have 0, which is presented by today. Here we have 1 year and 3 years, 8 months. And the loop here represented our R equals to 0.06. Let's put all the information. P equals to 550. R equals to 0.06. T should be in years. Therefore, we can write such that 3 plus 8 over 12, we will get our T in years is 11 over 3 years. Firstly, the question asks to find I. From the previous lesson, we already know I is equals to PRT. Therefore, we just put all the values that we have, where P is 550, our R is 0.06, our T is 11 over 3. It will be equals to RM 121 ringgit. So this is our capital letter I, simple interest. Don't forget to put RM. Okay? The second question that we need to find is capital letter S. From the formula, we have S equals to P plus I. Since we are given P is 550, and next we already know our I, which is 121 ringgit. So the simple amount will be 550 ringgit plus 121 ringgit. So it will become your SRM 671 ringgit. This is the answer for interest, and this is the answer for simple amount. To make it clear for you, I, where we get RM 121 ringgit, is the total amount of interest that Fazilah earned until 3 years, 8 months. So this is the amount of interest she get from 0 to 3 years, 8 months. Whereas for simple amount is the amount from the principal, which is 550 ringgit that she put in the bank, added with interest that she get throughout the period, which is until 3 years, 8 months. This will be simple amount, or the total amount that she will get. Example 9. How long does it take a sum of money to triple itself at a simple interest rate of 5% per year? So the question asks you to find for how long. That means the keyword here is T. How long does it take a sum of money? So the question didn't give you any values of money. So now, let's assume a sum of money as principal, which is P itself. Okay? How long does it take a sum of money to triple itself? Meaning that here is S, which is triple means 3P at a simple interest rate of 5% per year. So this will be our R equals to 0.05. Even though this question is short, but it is full of information. Hope you guys can understand the sentence very carefully. Okay, first of all, I would like to draw your attention to the word a sum of money. So here we just express or assume our P is equals to P. 2. The keyword here is 2, meaning that at the end of the period, the amount will be triple itself. Therefore, we can conclude that our S is equals to 3P, since the keyword here is triple. Okay? And then we have R equals to 0.05. Now, on the timeline, we will have 0, 1 year to portray this is simple interest rate. Okay? And then T year, since the question asks for how long does it take. We don't know the exact value of T, so we just put T year. Let's rewrite the information. R equals to 0.05. T is the one that we need to find. Our P is P itself, since we assume it is P. Our S is 3P. Since we are given R, T, P, and S, there is no information about interest. So we need to use the formula S equals to P1 plus RT. There is no point to use S equals to P plus I because we didn't have any information about interest. Now let's put all the information inside the formula. Our S is 3P. Our P is P itself. 1 plus our R is 0.05. T is the one that we need to find. From here, we can cancel out our P, and then we left with 3 equals to 1 plus 0.05T. Simplify the equation, we will get T equals to 2 over 0.05. Press your calculator, you will get T such that 40 years. Please remember, the unit 40 should be written in years. Therefore, this will be our final answer. T equals to 40 years. We move on to example 10. So the question will be a bit long from the previous example. Therefore, we need to read the question very carefully and please highlight all the values that we have. So let's start with read the example. 18 months ago, okay, a sum of money was invested. Now, the investment is worth 10,900 ringgit. If the investment is extended for another 20 months, it will become 11,900 ringgit. Find the original principal and the simple interest rate that was offered. So firstly, let's take note what are the information that we have. Here we have 18 months ago, so it should be negative 18. a sum of money was invested. So this will be our P, the one that we need to find, I guess. From the last sentences, find the original principal. So this is the one that we need to find. Now the investment is worth 10,900 ringgit. So this will be our S. If the investment is extended for another 20 months, it will become 11,900 ringgit. Therefore, this will be our second S. Let's represent it as S2, and 10,900 is S1. Find the original principal. So this is the one that we need to find, which is P. And the simple interest rate that was offered. So this is R. From the question, we know that we have two S. S1, which is 10,900, and S2, 11,900. S1 is calculated from negative 18 to now, whereas 11,900 ringgit is calculated from negative 18 to 20 months. To make you understand better, let's portray the information on the timeline. So it will become like this. If you can see here, we have negative 18 months, which portrays 18 months ago. And then we have 0, which is now. We have 12 months to portray that this is simple interest rate. Here we can write our R will be equals to the one that we need to find. Okay. And then 20 months is the end of the term in this example. Since here the end of term is ended 20 months. So our timeline ended at 20 months. First of all, on the timeline, we can see here from 0 as it is represented as today, which is present. Then we have here negative 18, which indicates the statement of 18 months ago. Next is 12 months, which portrays interest gain is after 1 year, since this question is about simple interest only. And here we have 20 months, since in the problem statement it stated the investment is extended for another 20 months. So this will be our timeline. Now let's put all the information on the timeline. Here we have P as it is sum of money was invested 18 months ago. So our P should be written in negative 18 months ago. Then at present, we will write 10,900 ringgit, since the statement said now the investment worth 10,900 ringgit. Meanwhile, for 11,900 ringgit, we will write at 20 months, because in the statement it states that if the investment is extended for another 20 months, it will become 11,900 ringgit. Next, let's do step by step. We focus on the timeline between negative 18 months to 0, which is now. From here, we will have the information such that P equals to P, R equals to R, S equals to 10,900 ringgit, T equals to 18 over 12. Since we need to represent our T in years, so we simplify, our T will become 3 over 2. So this is the timeline in purple color between negative 18 months to 0. Next, we are going to have another timeline which is represented in blue color. So this timeline will be from negative 18 months to 20 months. The information that we have for this timeline is as follows. P equals to P, R equals to R, S equals to 11,900 ringgit, and our T is 19 over 6. Why 19 over 6? Because we calculated from negative 18 to 20 months. So negative 18 to 0, we will have 18 plus 20. So we will have 38 months. Since our T should be represented in year, so we will write such that T equals to 38 over 12. Then simplify our T, that's why we get 19 over 6. Now, let's do for the purple color first. For the purple color timeline, we will have P, S, R, and T. Therefore, the formula that we are going to use is S equals to P1 plus RT. Our S is 10,900 ringgit equals to P is the one that we need to find. 1 plus R is also the one that we need to find. And T is 3 over 2. We simplify the equation, we will get such that 10,900 equals to P plus 3 over 2 PR. If you open the bracket, we will get 10,900 equals to P plus 3 over 2 PR. So this will be our first equation. Okay, next let's continue with the blue color timeline. From the blue color timeline, we are going to use the same formula. S equals to P1 plus RT. For blue color, our S is 11,900 equals to our P is the one that we need to find. 1 plus same thing as R. And T is 19 over 6. Just put in bracket. Simplify the equation, we will get 11,900 equals to P plus 19 over 6 PR. This is our second equation. Next, what we are going to do is we will subtract equation, where equation 2 minus equation 1. Let's write the equation such as 11,900 equals to P plus 19 over 6 PR minus with 10,900 equals to P plus 3 over 2 PR. Simplify the equation, you will get PR equals to 600. This will be our third equation. For this example, there is a few techniques that we are going to use. So I hope you guys really pay attention to these techniques. Okay, next what we are going to do is we will put third equation into equation number 1. You can choose whether you can put in equation number 2 or you can put equation number 1. Both equations will give you the same answer. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I will choose equation 1. If you put PR equals to 600 inside equation 1, it will become 10,900 equals to P plus 3 over 2 PR equals to 600. Substitute PR equals to 600 since we already get P times R equals to 600. So we just substitute the value of PR inside the equation number 1. Therefore, from here, we should get the value of P. Just press your calculator and you will get P equals to 10,000. Your final answer for P should be written in RM. RM 10,000. Please remember, we have two questions to solve. The first one is the principal P and the second one is rate. Since we already know that we have PR equals to 600 and then here we have P, so from here we just put P is 10,000 R equals to 600. So just simplify the equation, you will get R equals to 600 over 10,000. And your R should be 0.06. The final answer for R should be written in percentage. Therefore, R equals to 6%. This is your final answer for R. Now let's move to example 11. Adam invested 15,000 ringgit into account, some at 10% per annum and the rest at 5% per annum. His total interest for 1 year was 1,000 ringgit. Find the amount invested at each rate. First of all, we have Adam invested 15,000 into accounts. So we cannot assume this is our P. No, it will be totally wrong. Because Adam invested 15,000 into account. It is not just one account, but two accounts. The next information that we have is sum at 10%. So we just assume two accounts will be account A and B. Okay? Sum at 10%, which means that there will be some amount of money at 10% per annum. For this will be on account A. So we write just P. And the rest at 5% per annum. Here we have the keyword is the rest. Therefore, the rest means that 15,000 minus P. So the rest will be in another account. P for account A and 15,000 minus P is in account B. And the next information that we have is his total interest for 1 year was 1,000 ringgit. Total interest, meaning that interest from account A plus interest from account B will be equals to 1,000 ringgit. So we write such that IA plus IB equals to 1,000 ringgit. Next information is find the amount invested at each rate. The question asks you to find how much money that Adam invested in account A and how much money that Adam invested in account B. That's what the question wants you to find. To make it simple, let's put all the information such as like this. For account A, the information that we have is P equals to P. We assume that sum of money is P. And then our R is 0.1. Since the question gives you sum at 10% per annum. So it will become R equals to 0.1. T equals to 1 and our I is IA. Represented interest in account A. Whereas for account B, we have P is equals to 15,000 minus P. Sorry, I should put here P in green color. Okay, referring to P from account A. 15,000 minus P. The green P is the amount in account A. The rest is 15,000 minus P. And then our R is 0.05 from the statement. T is equals to 1 and I will be written as IB because interest from account B. Okay, so this will be the summary of information that we have for example 1. First of all, we have information I, R, T and P. Same goes to account A. We have I, R, T and P. Let's make full use of information that we already learned from previous lesson, which is we already know the formula I equals to PRT. If you can see and if you can relate the formula and the information that we have, all the values are there. So it will be suitable for us to use this formula. Let's do it for each account. For account A, I will write such that IA equals to P times R times T. IA is the one that we don't know, but we know the total interest for account A and B is 1,000. Just put any information that we have in the formula. So IA is equals to P, R is 0.1 and T is 1. We simplify the equation, we will get IA equals to 0.1P. This will be our first equation. Let's do the same for account B. IB equals to PRT. IB we don't know, but we know IA plus IB is equals to 1000. IB equals to P for account B is 15,000 minus P. R is 0.05. T is 1. Okay, since here we have IA plus IB equals to 1000. So we just put the information IA here, we can substitute to here. Therefore, we can write such that 0.1P plus IB is 15,000 minus P 0.05 times 1, it will be the same 0.05, will be equals to 1000. So simplify the equation, we will get such that 0.1P plus 750 minus 0.05P equals to 1000. Simplify the equation, we will get 0.05P equals to 250. Therefore, our P will be equals to 250 over 0.05. So it will become P equals to RM 5,000 ringgit. Since P is 5,000 ringgit, this will be in account A. How about in account B? So, P in account B, I will be using purple color. P in account B will be equals to 15,000 minus 5,000. Therefore, we will get P in account B, we write such that PB is 10,000 ringgit. So the final answer for P in account B is RM 10,000 ringgit. This will be our final answer. So here we have PA equals to 5,000 ringgit and PB equals to 10,000 ringgit. Let's do a short comment about the answer, where we can write such that the amount invested at 10% is 5,000 ringgit and the amount invested at 5% is 10,000 ringgit. So this will be the final answer for this example, where we need to do a short comment about the answer. Next, let's look at about simple interest, where there are two types of simple interest. The first one is exact simple interest and the second one is ordinary simple interest. Let's look at about exact simple interest first. For exact simple interest, it is calculated based on 365 days per year or 366 for the leap year. Therefore, for exact simple interest, our T will become number of days divided by 365. Whereas for ordinary simple interest is calculated based on 360 days per year. It is considered there are only 30 days in a month. It will increase the amount of interest due to the lender. Therefore, for ordinary simple interest, our T will be equal to number of days divided by 360. Why we need to know about these two types of simple interest? Because in the question, it will give you time in days. So you need to know how to convert days into years. These are the indicator. Where for exact simple interest, you should use T equals to number of days over 365. For ordinary simple interest, if the question gives you T in days, you need to convert such that T equals to number of days divided by 360. For last example in this lecture is example 12. Given 2,000 ringgit at 8% simple interest for 175 days. Compute exact interest and ordinary interest. So as you can see here, the T is given in days. Since our formula, which is I equals to PRT, where our T should be represented in years, we need to convert 175 days in year. So for the part A, where it asks for exact interest, we will write such that I equals to PRT. So our I is equals to P is 2,000 ringgit. R is 0.08 and then T is 175 days over. Since the question asks for exact interest, please remember exact interest we need to divide it by 365. Then just press your calculator, you will get your answer such that RM76 ringgit and 71 cents. This is for exact interest. Let's look at for ordinary interest. B. Again, we are going to use I equals to PRT. I is the one that we need to find. P is 2,000. R is 0.08. And T, we have 175 days. But for part B, we need to find ordinary. Therefore, we need to divide it by 360. Just press your calculator and you will get your ordinary interest is RM 77 ringgit and 78 cents. This is for ordinary interest and this is for exact interest.